Yes, I was at your last meeting, and I spoke in regards to the government Kids for Cash programs and agencies. And there's a lot of abuse, actually kidnapping under the guise of law that's occurring here in Sacramento with our Family Law Court and CPS. There's also been a documentary called Divorce Corp that have come out that have exposed some of the issues here.
Why don't we get to the question?
I'm wondering, are you aware of these issues?
No, I'm not.
We've had one issue that was on the front page with Susan Ferris, a disabled mother where her child was taken and put out in the street.
I did see this.
But that's just one of hundreds and hundreds of cases.
Okay, so what would you like me to do?
I would like to know if you're aware of them and are you going to do anything about them?
Okay, it's not an issue that I've yet focused on, but I will as a result of this. Now that you got 3 minutes, I want to get back to this gentleman. Susan,
She's behind him.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
get back to this gentleman specifically.
I also have a copy of the Divorce Corp if you want to take a look at it.
I will do that.
I think it's very important. It's a $50 billion industry that they're extorting from families.
I will take this. We need to make sure we get back to this gentleman. Go ahead.
For taking my question.
Yes, of course.
Okay. It's got to be a nightmare presiding over this Monty Python horribleness. I mean, it's, I think that Senator Yee, when you told your words were "go," and you sounded like you were genuinely disgusted.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course.
I picked that up. I mean, I don't know you very well, and I'm definitely not a Democrat, but I picked it up that you were just fed up.
Yeah.
You had it just like here.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I would like to segue into something completely different.
Good.
Okay.
Release,
The Ministry of Silly Walks into Capitol. So anyway, Barbara Boxer. Okay, she's supporting the micro bill, which is the medical malpractice caps and stuff like that. And there's 844,000 signatures. We really, really, really want that. I mean, there's a lot of elder abuse that's going on, people that aren't trained, doctors and nurses that are deciding to become drug and alcohol addicts. We are begging you to put in hair testing for doctors and nurses in that bill. Hair testing. Not just drug testing of fluids, but hair testing. That's the gold standard. Microsoft uses it, Ford uses it. We know about this.
I will look at that. Okay,
Please.
but I want to talk about micro for a minute, which is one of those issues that maybe you don't know a lot about. It's the law passed in 1975 that limits the amount of pain and suffering damages that a victim of medical negligence can recover to $250,000. And the reason for the law in 1975 was because without such a cap, malpractice insurance rates were rising significantly. So it is now 39 years later, and that cap has never been raised. Not for the cost of living, not on a one-time basis. And so the consumer attorneys and their allies have put an initiative on the ballot that would raise the cap to, I believe, $1.1 million plus inflation, 1.2 plus inflation, and also require that doctors and others in hospital settings be drug tested. So, as is sort of my way, before this Yee thing hit, I spent an intensive 2 weeks focused on trying to find a legislative compromise to the micro problem. And in the end, I proposed that the cap be raised one time to $500,000, which is not enough, but it would be a doubling. The consumer attorneys said, yes, we'll take it. In part because, an initiative is a big risk. The opposition's going to throw $75 to $80 million in opposition to the thing. And they wanted to do something that would represent an increase. The doctors said no. And the insurance industry said no. Which I think was a unfortunate decision. And now it goes to the ballot with all the bells and whistles and the drug testing and all that stuff, and a $1.2 million cap. So it's win or lose. But I want you to know, on your behalf and on the state's behalf, that I spent untold hours and proposed a decent compromise that one side said yes to and the other side said no to.
Okay, we've got time for a couple more questions, guys. I'm with Heritage Peak Charter School, and the career pathway is great. I just wanted to put to your attention, we went for the Career Pathways Trust grant, or the grant, and we're trying to get it for the smallest amount. What we're finding the hardest part is the secondary partners, the businesses. For whatever reason, they have a tough time putting something on letterhead to say how much they're actually willing to support students. So I would propose to you, if you could put together with your team anything that could help incentivize businesses to want those kids to come in. Because right now we're getting hit over the head just to get something on letterhead saying they would support us. And we did get some great partners with Siemens and some others, but...
Well, I appreciate what you're saying. Can I tell you some good news about this Career Pathways? As you know, I got $250 million in last year's budget. More than any investment that's ever been made in this area to change high school, to combine academic rigor and career focus and application across the board for all elite industries. It's called Career Pathways, or linked learning. And to me, it is the key to reducing the dropout rate, to increasing our economic competitiveness and preparing young people for college and career. $250 million. The initial letters of application, $1.5 billion, which is good news and bad news. We're not going to be able to fund all the projects, but it shows that there is a tremendous interest out there and gives us the ability, I think, to go back to the budget this next year and to get another $250 million.
Okay, one more, guys.
I can take one more.
Housing.
Housing.
Darrell, housing, yes. And thank you for your support for people with developmental disabilities over the years. And, you know, that's near and dear to my heart, is finding housing for people that are on $870 a month. And I cover 13 counties. It's really difficult. We're lacking funding, as you know. How can we create more housing opportunities? And how can the legislator direct the DDS, the State Department of Developmental Services, to work close to HCD or Cal HFA to create more housing?
Thank you. There is a bill in the legislature, Senate